the Sunday Night Anthem, delivered by Uber Eats.
Look at downtown Dallas on this final Sunday night of the calendar year. And now over to AT&T Stadium in Arlington, home of the Cowboys for the last 13 seasons, and the site tonight of the next chapter in a storied rivalry as Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys tee it up with Taylor Heineke and the Washington football team on Sunday Night Football. Al Michaels with Chris Collinsworth and Michelle Tafoya. Well, over the first several weeks of the season, the Cowboy offense carried the load. Over the last several weeks, it's been the defense. So far, so good. They come in 10-4. Cowboys will go to the playoffs for the first time in 3 years and still have a shot at that #1 seed in the NFC and a bye into postseason. Washington, meanwhile, a record of 6-8, come off 2 straight losses. Another tumultuous season in our nation's capital. Between the COVID list and the injured list, it was all Coach Ron Rivera could do to trot out enough healthy bodies over the last 2 weeks. But the good news is they get some of those guys and some key guys back tonight, and this team still has a mathematical shot, albeit slight, to get into postseason. Chris, the deck is stacked against them, but it's the NFL where anything happens. We know that, right? So what chance does Washington have, and how can they pull off an upset tonight?
You know, Washington knows they can play with Dallas. They did it the last time. They just can't give away the game again. They've got to run the football better than what they did the first time. Heineke's got to make some quicker decisions in the pocket, because if he doesn't, this Dallas pass rush is going to dominate again.
On opening night in Tampa, we said, what is the Dallas identity going to be? It's 15 weeks in now. What is the identity?
I think Dallas is good enough to beat anybody in the National Football League. But their offense is still a mystery. They have so much talent. We just keep waiting for them to explode like they did early in the season, right? But I think it really starts with Dak. If Dak gets hot again, Dallas could win the whole thing.
Agree with you. They've been meeting since 1960. Great rivalry. Should be a lot of fun. It's Washington and Dallas on Sunday Night Football.
Sunday Night Football is brought to you by Jersey Mike Subs. Be a sub above. And by Hyundai.
Hey there, you getting some gas?
Just using your squeegee.
Well, this squeegee kind of comes with gas.
Squeegee isn't free?
Oh, that's free with gas.
Yeah, but it's a plug-in hybrid. I don't need gas.
Well, no gas, no squeegee.
No gas, no squeegee?
No gas, no squeegee.
No gas, no squeegee.
Now free squeegee?
Now free squeegee.
Squeegee.
Evolve your journey beyond the pump in the first ever Santa Fe plug-in hybrid EV.
Pop the top, fill my cup up, yeah. We've worked hard to get these moments back. Here's to keeping them forever.
This is Antonelli's Cheese Shop.
And we're the Antonellis.
Do good, eat good.
That's our mission.
We chose our new Spark Cash Plus card from Capital One because it gives us unlimited 2% cash back on everything we buy.
And it has no preset spending limit, so our purchasing power adapts to our business needs. We use our 2% cash back to help cover our employees' healthcare costs.
And that's how we take care of our most valuable asset.
Our people. It may sound cheesy,
but we like it that way. What's in your wallet?
As a professional bull rider, I'm used to taking chances. But when it comes to my insurance, I don't. I use Liberty Mutual. They customize your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. And by switching, you could even save $665.
Hey, Tex. Can someone else get a turn?
Yeah, hang on. I'm about to break my own record. Yeah! Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Look, just because my last name's Manning doesn't mean I'm gonna do any old commercial. Sheesh. Tonight, I'll be eating a delicious fried shrimp po' boy, fully dressed. Thank you. Now that's a commercial. Legendary.
Tonight, you'll be seeing the game like never before with the Walmart Plus 4K Skycam. Get more out of game day with Walmart Plus, a membership with free same-day delivery and no extra fees. NBC Sports, home of Super Bowl 56, welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
And here's a quarterback draw, up the middle, Prescott.
Boy, and he's hurt.
Consider the difference a year can make.
Maybe this is the end for Dak Prescott.
How dejection can be so quickly replaced by promise.
2.5 sacks for Parsons.
How the return of one
What a throw by Prescott!
can lift 52
We need.
and propel a team to a division title.
Here we go.
But with an arch rival in front of them tonight, clinging to their playoff life, it's about turning promise into performance.
How about those Cowboys?
Because the biggest prize of all is there for the taking.
That's the Dallas preamble. Meanwhile, nary a dull moment in Washington this week. More on that. To Michelle we go.
Yeah, Al, Washington had just 4 days between its last game, a loss to the Eagles, and this one. That game against Philadelphia was postponed until Tuesday because Washington had 26 players on the COVID list. Now, that number is now down to 5, but preparations for Ron Rivera have been challenging, to say the least. Even tonight, starting linebacker Jamin Davis was presenting COVID-like symptoms before the game, and without enough time to process a test, he has been deactivated. Replacing him will be Milo Eifler, a rookie special teams player who just came off the COVID list Friday. He has never played a defensive snap in the NFL. Now, Taylor Heineke, who missed last week's game, is back tonight. He told us while he was at home sick, he had a few rough days and even described feeling shortness of breath from simply carrying laundry from one part of his house to another. Now, he said in spite of getting winded a couple of times at practice this week, he feels good about his stamina. We're going to be keeping an eye on that tonight, Alan.
Oh, Ron Rivera and company will watch him like a hawk. What's at stake? Dallas has already won the division by virtue, believe it or not, of the Las Vegas-Denver outcome today. So with a win, they stay 1 game behind Green Bay for the #1 seed with 2 games to go. Washington, with a win, would be 1 game back of the last spot, which is number 7 in the NFC wildcard race. And even if they lose tonight, they are still not mathematically eliminated in this now 17-game season. Washington won the toss. Defer. Corey Clement back to receive for the Cowboys. Joey Sly just came back off the list. Active tonight. Kicks it through the end zone, and the Cowboys will take over at the 25 as we take a look at their offense.
Dak Prescott, Arlington High School.
Ezekiel Elliott, the Ohio State University.
Amari Cooper, Alabama.
C. Lamb, Oklahoma.
Michael Gallup, Colorado State.
Dalton Schultz,
Stanford.
Terence Steele, Texas Tech.
Connor Williams, Texas.
Tyler Biadasz, Wisconsin.
Zach Martin, Notre Dame. Leo Collins, LSU.
An offense that was humming up until about mid-season. Now Prescott with that short drop, and the first pass of the night is complete to Amari Cooper, who gets saluted by the crowd after a gain of about 7. Second down and 3. Prescott got off to a tremendous start this season, cooled off a little since then. Still, the pass rating is about 6 points above the league average. And that comes to the line here on a second down and 3. Roof closed at AT&T Stadium. Warm outside, but high winds, so they close the roof. Perfect conditions. Second down and 3 from the 32. And they give the ball off to Elliott, and he gets powered forward by that offensive line, but not to the point of the line to gain. It'll be third down and inches.
You can tell on the first 2 snaps exactly what Washington is thinking. Here we've got 5 defensive linemen up here at the line of scrimmage, and basically they're going to say, you may beat us, but you're going to beat us throwing the football. So they're going to challenge them, try and take the running game away, and see if Dak can get back on track.
They flanked Elliott out, now bring him back in a tight formation. Send Lamb in motion to the wing, and Prescott will take it himself for a first down. As we take a look at the Washington defense.
Montez Sweat, Mississippi State.
Deron Payne, Alabama. Jonathan Allen, Alabama.
James Smith-Williams, NC State. David Mayo, Texas State University.
Kendall Fuller, Virginia Tech.
Cameron Curl, Arkansas.
Bobby McCain, Memphis.
Darryl Roberts, Lakeland High School.
Danny Johnson, the Southern University.
We're still talking about some of the changes. Meanwhile, Prescott under pressure, and he'll get taken down as he moves forward up to about the 39-yard line. Matt Ioannidis making the stop there. It'll be second down and 11. Mike McCarthy in his second season here, 13 years in Green Bay. Left there, spent a year off. Felt a lot better after that year off. Studied football, got the job here in Dallas. Second season as the head coach of the Cowboys. Second down and 11 at the 37-yard line. Blitz from the corner, and Prescott under pressure again, and down he will go. So that Washington defense, not nearly as good as they were last year, but Jonathan Allen makes the play here. Came into the game with 8.5 sacks.
Yeah, and there's no doubt about it. Jonathan Allen is the best player on this team. Here he is lined up over the center this time, Biadasz. And it wasn't a clean win, but it was just a coverage kind of a sack, because on the back end, Washington got the job done.
So third down and 16 now. Over the middle. That is caught by Cedric Wilson, loses it, and then flips it out to the side. It is Amari Cooper who takes it there, and he's going to back all the way up to the 30-yard line. So they needed 16, got about 8 or 9 of that back. Then over to Cooper, and then as you take a look at Wilson here, Wilson flipping it, almost flipped it forward. Cooper drops it.
And if you're Mike McCarthy, you're going, come on.
Yeah.
It's the perfect play. I had it set up. It's going to go for the first down. They probably practiced it 100 times. Wow.
Brian Anger, he'll go to the Pro Bowl. DeAndre Carter to run it back. And brings it back to the 29-yard line. So Heineke and company going to work for Washington when we come back.
So at AT&T, everyone gets our best deals.
Aren't others doing that?
Others say that, but not everyone gets the best deal. Like, what if I give you a lollipop? Then I give you our best lollipop.
That's not fair.
At AT&T, we think it's only fair that all customers get our best deals. And you get a choice of plans.
She said everyone.
It's not complicated. Only AT&T gives both new and existing customers our same best deals, like up to $1,000 off our most popular smartphones.
Ebenezer. Ebenezer.
Wiley?
First, you will see the past.
Excuse me, coming through.
And then, the present. And finally, Ebenezer, the future.
Introducing the all-electric EQS. Happy holidays from Mercedes-Benz.
Progressive presents At Home with Baker Mayfield.
Hey, it's Baker from next door. I think I got one of your packages. I opened it by mistake.
Huh. You sure they're not yours?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're not mine.
Huh. Online shopping, it's my curse.
You and me both.
Hey, you got a wheelbarrow I could borrow? I'm gonna do a little mulching.
Yeah, I'll bring it over.
Sunday Night Football being brought to you by the Mercedes-Benz Winter Event going on now. By AT&T 5G, fast, reliable, and secure. And by Progressive, save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. As you look at the Walter Payton Man of the Year nominees from each team, Jonathan Allen, Washington, second year in a row for him. Dak Prescott for Dallas, both doing great work in their communities. So Prescott back on the bench after they picked up one first down. Little trick play did not work. And here goes Heineke with Antonio Gibson. He was going to be a game-time decision. Been fighting through a toe injury, but he starts at running back. Off play action. Heineke going deep downfield, and interception number 11 for Trayvon Diggs. 11 picks for him in this, their 15th game, and that ties Everson Walls' Dallas record set back in 1981. 11 interceptions.
They knew it was going to be a one-on-one matchup, and can you believe it? Trayvon Diggs staring right back into Heineke's soul. Knew exactly what he was going to do, in perfect position, hit the Jets, and comes up with number 11 on the season. What a phenomenal year this young man has had.
Oh, we talked about the Dallas defense, and there's his son Aiden, who's quite a character. Been on a lot of shows recently, watches a lot of film with Dad, and how proud he must be of a guy who has 11 interceptions and still has almost 3 full games to go. From the 29-yard line, Elliott swings to the outside, turns to that field, gets taken down by the back of his shirt after a gain of 9 by the linebacker David Mayo. Back to the pick we go. With interceptions in one season, Diggs with 11, Walls in 81, the year that Dallas lost to San Francisco in the NFC Championship game, and Walls was there trying to guard Dwight Clark when he came down with that Montana pass to win it. Elliott, big hole over the right side. And out to the 46 he goes, tackled there by the safety Bobby McCain.
Going to have a little counter coming back the other way. Washington football fans will remember that play well. We used to run it a lot with the Hogs.
Go no huddle here. Off the play fake. Fires to the outside. That's caught at the midfield stripe by Amari Cooper. Darrell Roberts making the tackle. And that'll make it second down at the 52nd down, and let's call it 5.
Pace, that's what the Dallas Cowboys want, some pace here. Let's get to the line of scrimmage. Let's force this defense that's depleted to try and line up and match with us.
Short drop, quick throw, caught, tight end. Dalton Schultz having a fine year. To the 39-yard line he goes for a first down 5 minutes into the game.
Yeah, Dalton Schultz has seen a lot of action lately because teams are afraid to play man-to-man coverage on the outside. So a lot of shell coverage, a lot of open space in the middle of defenses against Dallas.
Cowboys all no huddle on this drive. Prescott flushed out, room to roam, slides to a stop inside the 35-yard line.
So you want to challenge and go deep, but you see this sort of umbrella coverage in here behind. So consequently, you either work those underneath zones and there really wasn't anybody in those underneath zones, or you take off and run for Dak, and everybody held their breath just a bit every time he runs.
Second and 6 again, no huddle, not allowing Washington to make any substitutions on defense. And this time coming across the line, it'll be a free play. That'll be caught at the 11-yard line. Free play or not by Amari Cooper. And again, Coop getting the call. Amari's been very frustrated of late. Has not seen nearly enough action in his mind, but so far tonight, so good.
Offside. Defense number 94. Penalty decline. Result of the play. First down.
Deron Payne coming across the line. It's a gain of 23 to the Washington 12.
Yeah, one of the counters to this is to go these 4 verticals and just let your quarterback see where the gap is. 4 wide receivers sprinting down the field, and that seam route, so tough to defend.
Fumble. And that was a problem for him last year as well with Elliott, but this time he recovers his own miscue, and it'll be second down and 10.
The key on these outside zones, Al, is to really stretch if you're the quarterback. It's like a 100-yard dash. You got to get the ball there, and for whatever reason, I don't know if Zeke tried to take it a little wider than normal or Dak just didn't get there, but that was not good.
Had 5 lost fumbles last season, only 1 so far this year. On second and 9, that is caught at the 5-yard line. Second grab on this drive for Dalton Schultz to make it third down and short.
Yeah.
In the red zone, where they are, of course, right now inside the 20-yard line. At home, they've been great. On the road, anything but. 78%, second best at home, third worst away from home. Can they cash in here? Third and 3. To the outside. Elliott into the end zone. He goes for the touchdown. Almost all no huddle. They go 71 yards, 9 plays, 4 runs, and 5 passes to take the early lead.
They knew exactly what they had. Motion back into the backfield that time by Elliott. Nobody really moves. They know it's a zone, so the bunch off to the right is going to all clear to the inside. Nobody left. They knew that one from film study, exactly what it was going to be, and a nearly perfect drive by Dak and the Cowboys.
Greg Zuerlein to tack on point number 7. So on Washington's second play, Heineke goes deep. Diggs says no, sir. His 11th pick of the season culminates with an Elliott score, 7-0 Cowboys.
Today, business is a balancing act. You want your data to be protected and secured. And your customers want seamless and easy. With IBM, you can do both. Your company can monitor threats across your clouds, address all those regulations, and still create all new experiences. Trustworthy AI-powered security. That's why so many businesses work with IBM.
Streaming soon. What prevents us from taking what we want?
They're going to war.
Then we will be ready. The Book of Boba Fett. Original series streaming soon.
This right here, Powerade Power Water. And that right there is me about to dunk so hard your ancestors will feel it. And this is me just getting started. Powerade Power Water. More power from me.
Nerds. Chloe and Rennie went down the sand dunes.
We need a real adventure.
Let's make it real. Compare travel credit cards that help you book adventures beyond your backyard. Or compare cashback cards and turn everyday purchases into your next unforgettable experience. Compare your way there. Find the smartest financial products for you on NerdWallet.
Next question.
Archie, is this your first meeting with Caesar and Cleopatra?
We met in Miami in 2007.
Ah, the helmet catch. Right, Eli?
Actually, that was 2008 in Phoenix. Miami was Peyton's first Super Bowl.
Also great.
But not as great as the helmet catch.
I would have hit him in the numbers, probably.
Who cares? We're all Caesars. Am I right? Even Cooper. He's my favorite.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Nice.
We are all Caesars, and the mayonnaise are also Caesars.
Let me tell you about where I'm from.
Black neighborhoods are devalued 23% compared to white neighborhoods.
25% of the homes in foreclosure are Black-owned.
The NFL and National Urban League are fighting to protect affordable housing for all, because we all deserve a home, no matter where we're from.
After 5 seasons and 4 Emmy wins, TV's #1 drama returns for one final chapter. This Is Us, premiering January 4th, right here on NBC. Well, it's been a great holiday weekend for you as we come toward the end of the 16th week of the NFL season, and Washington will begin from the 25-yard line. Let's take a look at their offense.
Taylor Heineke, Old Dominion. Antonio Gibson, Memphis. Terry McLaurin, B, Ohio State.
DeAndre Carter, Sacramento State. Ricky Seals-Jones, Sealy, Texas.
John Bates, Boise State.
Charles Leno Jr., San Leandro High School.
Eric Flowers, Miami.
Keith Ismail, San Diego State University.
Sadiq Charles, LSU.
Sam Cosme, Texas.
Changes up and down. All the years we've been doing this, Chris, I can't remember more changes in the prior 24 hours to a game than in this one. Guys coming off every list.
It's hard enough to announce one of these games. Can you imagine trying to coach?
Yeah, tell me about it. From the pistol, Heineke throwing at the feet of Gibson. 2nd and 10. So Heineke got the start when Ryan Fitzpatrick, they signed him to be the guy. He got hurt on opening day. 19 TDs, 13 interceptions, rating a little below the league average. Missed last week's game, as did Kyle Allen, his backup, the Tuesday night game in Philadelphia. The good news for them, though, with Heineke, and they'll watch him as to how much stamina he has. As you look at Ron Rivera, Allen is also back. He was on the COVID list, and Garrett Gilbert got the start on Tuesday. 2nd and 10, and a little sidearm shot caught. That's a first down, and a few more for Dax Milne. Gain of 13. And their first down.
All right, now that's as good as anything Patrick Mahomes has ever done right there. He gave him the shoulder shimmy first to get him off balance a little bit, and then dipped below sidearm to get that ball out there. That was some play by Taylor Heineke.
Heineke was out of football for most of last year. They needed him at the end of the season. Rivera called him, brought him up, and he wound up starting a playoff game and played well against Tampa Bay. Gibson to the outside has a little bit of room before he is taken out of bounds by Anthony Brown. Here's the Dallas defense.
DeMarcus Lawrence, Boise State. Oso Digizua, UCLA. Carlos Watkins, Clemson. Randy Gregory, Nebraska.
Micah Parsons, Penn State. Keanu Neal, Florida.
Leighton Vander Esch, Boise State.
Trayvon Diggs, Bama.
Jaron Kearse, Clemson.
DeMonte Casey, San Diego State.
Anthony Brown, Purdue.
That defense a whole lot better than they were last year. 7th in points allowed this season. 2nd down and 4. Heineke finds room, throws into traffic, and there's Diggs again helping to break that up. Intended for McLaurin, who got shut out in that game 2 weeks ago in Washington. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
You're going to hear a lot about Randy Gregory, Micah Parsons. Randy Gregory's way out there. Why is he? Because they want to set up Micah Parsons, who has 12 sacks on the season, to come right up the middle and have some ability to use his athleticism, and he gets the hit just before the throw that time. That is the mismatch for this offensive line. How are you going to stop Parsons, Gregory, and DeMarcus Lawrence?
3rd and 4. Look out. Heineke gets it away, and it's incomplete. And that was forced because of the pressure that time. And that's Gregory, the aforementioned one, who comes in there taking Heineke down. 4th down.
So what do you get now when Parsons is inside? Now the offensive line's going to react to it. Here they are in here, so they block down. And here comes Randy Gregory free off the edge, and he gets the free hit. So that's the magic right now of what the Dallas Cowboys have been able to do on defense.
And yet Lawrence coming off the other edge. Tress Way has the 3rd best punting average in NFL history. Way in his 8th season will send it down in the direction of C.D. Lamb, who backs up, fields at the 5, has some room. Lamb coming to the near sideline and gets out to about the 26-yard line. 6:08 left in the quarter. Christmas in nearby Fort Worth. 7-0 Dallas.
Why choose proven quality sleep from Sleep Number? Because every great play starts the night before. My Sleep Number 360 smart bed tracks my circadian rhythm, average heart rate, and breathing rate, so I know how well I'm sleeping. It's also temperature balancing, so I stay cool. And it senses my movement and automatically adjusts to help keep me comfortable all night. Sleep Number takes care of the science, so I can focus on other things. The Sleep Number 360 smart bed is on sale now, only from Sleep Number.
This holiday, Verizon has the deal that gets better and better and better.
Get iPhone 13 Pro on us when you trade in your old or damaged phone.
Better? Better. Hey, and up to $1,000 when you switch. Because everyone deserves better.
Grandma, how wide are two reindeer? 27, 28, 29.
We've been waiting all year to come together.
It worked!
Have a happy and safe holiday season from Lexus.
Look, just because my last name's Manning doesn't mean I'm going to do any old commercial. Sheesh. Tonight, I'll be eating a delicious fried shrimp po' boy, fully dressed. Thank you. Now that's a commercial. Legendary.
I told you I was going to win.
With Windows 11, gaming performs to another level.
Let's go!
And when it comes to streaming movies, we haven't really experienced any buffering. It's so cool that we'll have access to movie theater level quality pretty much anywhere.
Seeing it load up that quick, I was genuinely surprised.
I can't believe there's no lag. I didn't realize how bad you were until I got these really good graphics.
Early audiences give Sing 2 an A+ and a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Gunter, you're a genius! Mama always said, Gunter, you're not as stupid as your papa.
Sing 2, rated PG.
Since 1960, when the Cowboys joined the NFL, most wins versus another team. The Vikings have beaten up on the Lions 79 times. Patriots have beaten the Bills 76 times, but not today. Packers 76 over the Bears, and 74 Dallas over Washington. Those guys are all out tonight. Holcomb and Collins are their two leading tacklers. Jackson is starting corner. Meanwhile, here goes Tony Pollard, who picks up about 7. So they've got two guys right now. It kind of, in a way, you sort of go back to Herschel Walker, Tony Dorsett back in 1986. Two guys coming out of the backfield. Each will have over 1,000 scrimmage yards this season.
But it is definitely Pollard who has their attention.
Oh, yeah. Catches it here. He has plenty of experience as a wideout at Memphis. To the 42 he goes. And a first down for Dallas. And Prescott is now 8 for 8 at the outset for 70 yards.
And what Pollard does is he just expands the playbook. Yeah, you have all the traditional runs in there and power runs with Ezekiel Elliott. But you have everything you can imagine with Pollard. They put him outside, motion him, jet sweeps, all kinds of things.
Back rolling and throwing. Nice grab at the 45. C.D. Lamb going up high to grab it away from Bobby McCain. First down there for a gain of 14.
Nice job here by Dak, getting his body turned and back up the field. He's lacked a little bit of accuracy on some of those, but man, what a catch by CD.
Cowboys loving this fast pace. They've already gained 112 yards. Another free play coming here. And making the grab at the 23-yard line is Lamb again. Back-to-back for CD. Casey Tuhill came across the line, creating the flag and the free
offside.
option.
Defense number 95. Penalty decline. Result of the play. First down.
You almost knew it was going to happen. You get the free shot. So what do? You throw it up to one of these big play wide receivers down the field. The bad news, if you're C.D. Lamb, is that you know you're going to take a hit, and that was a big one. But two fantastic catches in a row.
From the 23-yard line. Take the Pollard, pass out here to Wilson. And he gets hog-tied as he crosses the 20-yard line. by Bobby McCain. The offensive coordinator is Kellen Moore for the Cowboys. He was kept from the Jason Garrett staff. McCarthy took over and kept him. And he's probably in line to be interviewed for a head coaching position relatively soon. There's a former head coach himself. Jack Del Rio was at Jacksonville and in Oakland for years. Now the defensive coordinator under Ron Rivera. 2nd and 6. 4-man rush. Pass a little bit high there, intended for Pollard and incomplete. 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, and I think Dak needs to understand what he's getting. They're going with this fast pace, which is keeping Washington in some real basic defenses because of all the substitutions and people that haven't had a lot of practice time. But generally, when you start to get those zones, you start working it inside to some of those holes in there, and those throws get a lot easier.
That was his first incompletion. Almost jumped offside again.
Hold 51. Hold 51.
Prescott throws. That's caught. That's a 1st down and a 1st and goal on the next play as Amari Cooper makes the catch, talking about his frustration not being targeted enough. He's already caught 4 in the quarter.
So there you go. It's exactly what you want. You clear out here and then you bring a receiver back underneath in that zone defense as they carry that down the field. So good recognition that time by Dak, understanding that they were going to give him some basic looks, and that's a basic route.
McGovern, the guard, is at fullback here. Prescott throws, and once again, easy touchdown, but a flag is down. Dalton Schultz, for the moment, is into the end zone. But we'll get our first call of the night from Bill Vinovich, our chief referee at Zebra.
Holding. Defense number 34. Penalty decline. Result of the play. Touchdown.
Darrell Roberts with a hold, so the Cowboys with 2 long drives. This one 74 yards. They've already gained 157 yards tonight and have a 2-touchdown lead.
Connor McGovern, the backup guard, in at fullback, so really sells the idea of this being a run. And a great job on the outside there by Dalton Schultz of selling that run block as well.
Zerline with Brian Anger to do the holding. Jake McQuaid is the snapper. And Dallas leads by 14. Late in the first quarter, Dalton Schultz caught 3 tonight already for 25 yards. Prescott strong for 128. 14-0. Home team.
Can I ask you a question? Am I out of focus?
You're fine.
Yeah, but I mean, look at me. I'm all blurry.
Well, you're supporting cast.
What?
The camera focuses on the most important character, which is me.
Well, what if my character had a big reveal?
Like what?
Like maybe I'm the killer.
Are you?
Yeah. No. Could have been. Could have been the killer.
Oh, Bud Light Seltzer Retro tie-dyes?
Have you tried these yet?
Bud Light Seltzer Retro tie-dye, the loudest flavors ever.
Downey's been taking you back since way back. With freshness and softness you never forget. Feel the difference with Downey.
I'm Terry Crews, Team USA superfan. Well, well, well. If it isn't America's greatest rival, the country we fought a bitter Cold War with for decades, Canada. That's right, I said it. Because when it comes to Olympic women's hockey, it's always us or them every single time. We won the gold in 2018, so this February, they're looking for payback. But listen here, Canada, when you come for the crown, the United States wins gold! You better not miss. The Winter Olympics, February 3rd on NBC and Peacock.
It's our party, we can do what we want.
We'll be coming to you live from Miami.
Oh, that seems reckless.
Miley's New Year's Eve party starts 10:30 p.m. live on NBC and Peacock.
Premier League, you can check it out New Year's Day, 7:30 a.m. Arsenal taking on Manchester City. Then the next day at 11:30 a.m. Chelsea and Liverpool. Premier League festive features on USA. Nice night in the Metroplex, downtown Dallas. 14-0 out here in Arlington. And that kick, a flag is thrown. It went out of bounds before it got to the goal line. So it's an out-of-bounds kick, and that means it's going to go to the 40-yard line.
Kickoff out of bounds. Kicking team number 2. The ball we place at the 40-yard line. First down.
Yeah, Zerline looking down there saying, what was that all about? How'd you gauge that? Meanwhile, here's Diggs. You talk about feast or famine. He's given up the most yardage in the league for a defensive back, 899 yards. That's the most in the NFL, but 11 picks, including one here on the first play for Washington tonight. And it's the most interceptions. Tied for the most is Lester Hayes. As you look at Everson Walls, who just saw his Cowboy record tied. Lester Hayes with 13 picks back in 1980, the last guy to have more than 11.
You know who holds the record? Night Train Lane.
Yes, he does.
14 in a 12-game season. How about that?
Very different game in that era. From the 40-yard line. Up the middle, gain of 3. Antonio Gibson. We go to Michelle.
Well, DeMarcus Lawrence told me he's really proud of Trayvon Diggs. He said Trayvon plays his own game. He's got speed and instincts and for sure the ultimate confidence. Keanu Neal told me that confidence is Diggs' most valuable asset, saying Diggs trusts himself, his eyes, and that's half of his success. And Diggs told me you need to believe you're going to intercept every pass, and I worked hard for that confidence.
Well, Michelle, you talk about ball skills. What does that mean? It means you're good at catching the football. He was a wide receiver when he went to school at Alabama. Second down and 7 from the 43-yard line. Heineke to the outside, and that's incomplete. Out of the hands of Antonio Gibson. 3rd and 7 for Washington.
How about if you're Nick Saban and you're sitting there with a talent like Trayvon Diggs at wide receiver, and you've got nothing but All-Americans sitting in front of him and going, you know, I think you might make a pretty good quarterback, but he left the decision to him. How'd that work out?
Worked out great for Nick, worked out great for Diggs. Third down and 7. Heineke is 1 for his first 6 for 14 yards. Empty backfield, 4-man rush. And that is intercepted. It's DeMarcus Lawrence. Down the sideline he goes. And look at that. Into the end zone. Boy, I tell you, if it's not Diggs, it's not Parsons, it's not Gregory, don't forget about that guy. DeMarcus Lawrence with the touchdown.
It's one of the plays of the year right here. You're not going to believe this. A little inside move. He knows he doesn't have it. Gets in the throwing lane, taps it to himself, but it just starts getting good. Watch him run the football. He looks like a tailback going down there, leaping over tackler. That's unbelievable. These guys are freaky on this Dallas defense. Freaky.
2 weeks ago, another lineman, Dorrance Armstrong, had a pick 6 against Washington. And now Lawrence duplicates the feat. And the Dallas Cowboys, 2 long drives, a defensive score. And with 2:17 to go in the first quarter, it is 21-0. Great interception. Taps it to himself. There's the defensive coordinator, Dan Quinn, exultant upstairs.
If Johnny and I can
work together, and we win, Cobra Kai will be out of business.
The only other person who knows how to teach Cobra Kai is you.
You gotta take things to the next level.
You cannot strike first with this guy. We'll settle this on the mat.
Welcome to the All Valley Karate Tournament!
Mr. Clark, your daughter is a very good kisser.
When you crave the uncomfortable, try Spicy Pringles Scorchin'.
Hey, Gary.
Hey, Robert.
You been up there all night?
Yeah, just keeping watch.
You need SimpliSafe's new wireless outdoor security camera. It works with SimpliSafe's already award-winning home security for even more comprehensive protection.
What? Hey, Shirley!
What?
You're not gonna believe this.
The new wireless outdoor security camera is here, only from SimpliSafe.
At Chipotle, real food always starts with real ingredients in real kitchens. When you order Chipotle, real food starts with you. Whether it's in restaurant, pickup, or delivery. However you Chipotle is the easiest way to Chipotle.
Hey, USAA, it's Gronk again, and I'm here with my man, Frank. Frank, say hi.
Hi.
Frank was in the Army, and he's been enjoying that award-winning USAA service for like
10 years.
Anyway, he's in. And Frank, don't you love me, man?
Sure, Gronk.
And don't you think I deserve a USAA membership?
Did you serve? Are your parents members?
Nope.
Then no. I love that. It's for the military community.
Frank, that's not the line.
USAA. It's still only for the military community.
Tonight's aerial coverage is being brought to you by Geico. Another dream of Jerry Jones to build that facility with the indoor stadium at the Star in Frisco. That's where the Cowboys have at it. They really built that area up as well. Let's go to Michelle.
Al, first came a bet between the Cowboys defensive front and the secondary. Which unit would force more turnovers? Now, that bet was being discussed one day when DeMarcus Lawrence saw Dak walk by and thought, maybe we can get a bet going with the offense. Now, Zach Martin told me, I don't even know what's on the line, but sometimes in the huddle, like the last game with all those interceptions, we were saying, we got to score to keep up. There's a little extra pull. Whatever you can get out of everyone. Now, the defense came into this game leading 4 turnovers to 2 touchdowns. That score is now 6-4 after each of these, the offense and defense each have 2, and we've got a player down on the field, Al.
Yeah, meanwhile, Michelle, what it takes to motivate people is very interesting, but sometimes you get that little internal stuff going on. That's Darian Thompson, who on special teams will be helped to his feet. A lot of folks, a lot of Cowboy fans worrying about, what's going on? The offense couldn't do anything. Remember, Dak hurt his calf. Cooper Rush won that game in Minnesota that night. I think all is well for the moment, at least in the Metroplex.
You know, it certainly looks that way. And for DeMarcus Lawrence, I know they have a couple of Defensive Player of the Year candidates on the Dallas Cowboys defense. But since his return, this is a different defense. Because now you have 3 of those monsters that can come after your quarterback, and they're distributing them all over the defense and attacking in multiple ways. And it is just a dilemma offensively. How in the world do you handle all 3 of them?
Dan Quinn took over after they were pretty much historically bad on defense last year. From the 25-yard line now, Heineke tries to work them back into the game and throws into double coverage, and that will be caught. De'Ami Brown, a rookie out of North Carolina, picked him in the 3rd round, deep downfield. Diggs looking up, thinking I could have had maybe number 12. Instead, 48 yards.
I love De'Ami Brown, and watch what he does. Inside technique here. So you go, you attack to the outside, break across his face, jump up over the safety, make a big play, exactly what Washington needed.
There's gain of 48 on the play to the 27-yard line. This is DeAndre Carter on the end around, and Carter will take it for a first down before he's taken out of bounds by Donovan Wilson, number 6, with a minute and a half to go in the opening frame.
All you have to do is fool the end on the end of the line of scrimmage. If he takes the cheese here, then the blockers can get out in front of this play, and it matches up perfectly. If Dorrance Armstrong sees it coming, then it's a hard day's night there for DeAndre Carter.
At the 12-yard line. Running back is Gibson. To the end zone he goes, and it's broken up in the end zone there. Flag is down, intended for the tight end Bates. J-Ron Curse leads the team in tackles, and you can tell by McCarthy's
prior to the pass, holding,
face.
Defense number 27. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
It's on Curse. One of their free agent pickups having a big year.
Yeah, he really is, and one of the reasons they signed him is they thought he was buried in the depth chart behind Harrison Smith in Minnesota, had a lot of the same skills. They brought him in to be a tight end coverage specialist, but he has expanded far beyond that. Green dot, he's calling signals. He's been really one of those surprise stars on Dallas's defense.
Yeah, for sure. 4 years in Minnesota, last year in Detroit. Good free agent pickup, first down and goal now. Off the fake, Heineke, look out. Being chased by Lawrence, and he's going to get him finally at the 8-yard line. First there as well at the end. Second down and goal with a half minute to go in the quarter.
You know, typically when you get a big guy like that, right? You go, okay, I'm a shifty quarterback. Heineke can move on the back end. And as a quarterback, you kind of laugh at those guys and you go, I'm going to get away. But so many times with DeMarcus Lawrence, you don't get away. You saw what he could do running with the football on that touchdown. He's hard to escape from.
Stack 3 receivers to the right side. Bring Gibson back in, and he gets repositioned. And now on second down and goal, he'll go on to center with Heineke, and that's the end of the quarter. So just trying to get Dallas to come offside. They don't. Cowboys lead 21-0. It's the end of the first quarter with Sunday Night Football continuing right after these messages.
Look. This is the move right here. Boom. Boom.
That was solid. Now it's my turn. My bag of chips for your crunch wrap.
Do I have any say in this?
You're the chip guy. Thought you want me to share.
I think we have different definitions of sharing.
Maybe. Maybe not.
I eat my chips too.
Next time you can divvy it up.
Wow, so generous.
At Lowe's, with endless ways to organize what you need, you'll find some of the peace of mind you want at prices you really want. Start the year fresh at Lowe's. Shop Lowe's Store and Save event now, in-store and online.
Oh, I think I left my card at the restaurant. Should I turn around? No. I'll just freeze my card with the Navy Federal Credit Union app. Can't imagine where I'd be without them.
Girl, I got you.
Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission.
Maybe it's another refill at your favorite diner, or waiting for the 7:12 bus, or Sunday afternoon in the produce aisle. These moments may not seem remarkable, but at Pfizer, protecting the regular routine and every day drives us to reach for exceptional. Working to impact hundreds of millions of lives, young and old. It's what we call the pursuit of normal.
It starts with little things, little things.
It's the most joyous time of the year.
Especially at T-Mobile.
Let's go to Diane.
I got the awesome new iPhone 13 Pro and AirPods, and T-Mobile's paying for them both.
And this is for new and existing customers.
Upgrade to the iPhone 13 Pro and AirPods, both on us, only at T-Mobile.
Peacock streaming the biggest live events, the Winter Olympics, the road to WrestleMania, and the Super Bowl. It's all the unbelievable moments you can't not watch.
Dan Quinn calling that Dallas defense. Scott Turner that Washington offense, which is in a 2nd down and goal, as we start the 2nd quarter at AT&T Stadium in Arlington on Sunday night. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle Tafoya with you. Final Sunday of 2021.
Let's see if they go after the rookie Kelvin Joseph here. They really have not tried him yet. Jordan Lewis being out of this game.
Joseph, number 24. Heineke under pressure, escapes, throws, and incomplete. Adam Humphries, first time he's been targeted tonight, making it 3rd down and goal. Well, of course, it's 21-0, but you know, it was 24-0 a couple of weeks ago in Washington. Washington made a big comeback. Final score was 27-20. So again, it's one of those don't touch that dial moments for us, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But you know, Washington had the ball back with about 3 minutes to go, and they were driving with a chance to tie it or go for 2 and get the win.
Turned it into a game because of the Dallas turnovers. Big play here for Washington on a 3rd down. Flipped out here to Gibson, and he will dive into the end zone for the touchdown. Heineke under pressure on almost every pass tonight. Once again, right there. 5 plays, 75 yards. The big blow, of course, the 48-yarder to Brown. And Washington tries to scramble back into it.
Yep, no question about that one. I want to give a little credit to Charles Leno out there. Just blocking any of these guys tonight has been tough. He had a good block on Randy Gregory to give his quarterback just enough time.
There he is, first year in Washington, 7 years in Chicago. Went to the Pro Bowl back in 2018. Joey Sly will boot that one through. And 15 seconds into the 2nd quarter. Heineke, Gibson, 21-7.
Dignity. It demands that you can do simple things with ease while managing chronic pain. It demands a better understanding of your glucose levels so you can enjoy movie night, and that your heart stays connected to your doctor so you know it's beating as it should. At Abbott, we fight for these moments, developing life-changing technologies because dignity demands it.
The last battle is here. I promise you, when your life's on the line, the power will be there.
The Wheel of Time, only on Prime Video.
The first ever Genesis GV70. Proud to be named Motor Trend's 2022 SUV of the Year.
Hey.
Dad, I'm working.
What's the matter? You can't talk to your dad and work at the same time, huh? Is your new laptop not powerful enough?
Oh, it's powerful.
How about now? Huh? How about this?
Still good.
Breaking up. Break. Hey, you taking a break? I was just leaving you a message.
Want a laptop that has it all? That's Intel Evo.
Sunday Night Football brought to you by Allstate. Save money like a champion with Allstate. By Abbott, life to the fullest. And by Hyundai. Cowboy cheerleaders, this franchise, an expansion franchise in the 60s. About 10 years later, I think Tex Schramm came up with the idea, why don't we have some cheerleaders? And they become almost as famous as the team itself. Warming up before the game tonight. Jerry Jones, of course, and Stephen Jones right there. Bought this team back in 1989. And the Cowboys will start the next drive from the 25-yard line. So Dak Prescott in the NFC East, facing his opponents in his sixth season, 23-6 inside the division, 793 winning percentage, highest in 16. In his sixth year, 8-1 against this Washington team. And the Cowboy quarterbacks to win 8 of their first 9 against one opponent, Dak and Roger Staubach, who is in the building tonight. Here goes Lamb to the outside, and a nice tackle behind the line of scrimmage made there by Jeremy Reeves. And speaking of one, Roger Staubach, he's had a little success in a few areas in life.
I did a speaking engagement with him one time, and number 25 on his list of accomplishments, he won the Heisman Trophy.
Apart from that,
that's insane.
11 seasons guiding this franchise. Second down and 12. Passes low, going to the ground. Scoop it is C.D. Lamb. Third down and 7. So since Dak came back from the injury, had that calf, missed a game. Cooper Rush led him to a win on Sunday night against Minnesota. Third down and 7. And tonight looking like the pre-injured Dak, 14 of 15 for 133 and 2 touchdowns. Hangs in the pocket, escaping, signals downfield, fires wide open, Michael Gallup. So Gallup gets free. Gallup looking back, got free down the sideline. Dak was in trouble, and the next thing you know, 41 yards.
This is just great quarterback play. He's going to get his guy on the boundary on the right-hand side, escape the pocket, get out there, get up there, go deep, go deep. You could see that Cooper was standing right in front of him, and he knew all the way, just throws the little lollipop over the top. And so far, Dak Prescott has just been smoking.
On first down, Elliott back in the game, goes nowhere. Second down attempt, talking about Dak pre and post calf injury.
Yeah, so I went back and watched him quite a bit, and when he's throwing on the run, he really hasn't changed very much at all. But the one thing you do notice, I went back to 2019 before all those injuries, and you could see that when he throws from the pocket, that back leg of his really kicks off the ground, and he feels like he gets a little too forward with some of those throws.
Second down and 9. Here he is again in the pocket, escaping again, taken off, first down, out of bounds at the 19-yard line. 4 carries tonight for 21 yards.
Well, obviously he's healthy. We're seeing him running all over the place here. And this is the backbreaker, right? You have these 3 great receivers down the field, and then when you have a quarterback that has the skills that we saw from Dak so often early in his career, they break the back of defenses.
21 on the ground, 173 through the air. McGovern is in as the fullback, and Elliott gets tackled at the line of scrimmage. Right there is David Mayo. Don't forget the thing with Dak too, you go back to training camp, he didn't play at all in preseason, had that shoulder injury. That was a big deal. Didn't know what we'd get out of him. And opening night in Tampa, he looked fabulous.
Yeah, he really did. But he spent a lot of time trying to, in the pocket, keep that back foot on the ground. Thought it made him a little bit more accurate, went to some of those quarterback camps, and he was feeling really good. But then post-injuries, he's almost more back in survival mode and just playing on instinct right now.
Over the middle on second down and 10, breaking a tackle, taking it to the 10-yard line. Amari Cooper broke away from Mayo, and Cooper tonight has now caught 5 for 54.
Yeah, this is a little closer to the change that he made. Watch his right foot. It comes off the ground barely, but he's sort of much more erect, standing up straight in the pocket and getting over the top of those throws, and I think that's what he's looking for.
Sets up a 3rd and 2. Elliott back in the backfield. Give it to him. Around the left side goes Zeke, puts his head down. Stop inside the 1-yard line. While Collins provided the escort, but he's a little shy of the goal line. 1st and goal.
They're using a lot of Washington plays here. They're going to go counter Trey. We saw this so many times with Joe Gibbs' teams, and here they come out around with the offensive lineman from the opposite side, and I think the knee just went down. Did it? No, it was on one of the Washington players.
Replay assistants ruling on the field is a touchdown.
Yeah.
So it's a delayed celebration. They can blow the horn, do all of the rest. He's into the end zone. And that Washington defense, which was shredded for 519 yards on Tuesday night, has already given up 232 tonight.
But how about what Ezekiel Elliott is doing with a knee brace on his knee that is confounding? I don't think that we've ever seen a running back or a skill position player with a knee brace quite that big, and yet you cannot see it out here tonight. He has been really explosive.
Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday, trying to figure out the last time we did see a running back. Zeke said he wore one in high school. Put one on against Washington. This is his third game with it on. Zerline now for the extra point, which would be his fourth of the night. And he's got it. 10.5 left in the half. Dallas 28 and Washington 7.
Welcome to Allstate, where we have all new lower auto rates. And savings like that make you feel like you won the whole dang thing. Now get new lower auto rates with Allstate. Because better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click or call for a lower auto rate today.
Everybody get on your feet. You make me nervous when you're in your seat. Take off your shoes and pat your feet. We're doing a dance that can't be beat. We're barefoot.
Peter Parker is a criminal. That's why he's hiding.
It's time to clear my name. Come on. Ned, how'd you find me?
My Ned sense, but also.
What are we gonna do for 300 miles?
I spy something red.
Me?
Nah, darn.
300-mile range on a single charge. See the all-electric Ionic 5 in Spider-Man No Way Home.
When I want it, you got it. When you want it, I got it, yeah. When they want it, ain't want it, we got it, yeah.
Wrecking ball! Yeah, that's right! Welcome to That's My Jam!
We're really taking it to the next level.
That was not in my contract!
That's My Jam premieres January 3rd on NBC.
Aerial view right there of Beijing. The Winter Olympics will start February 3rd, only 39 days away. On NBC and Peacock exclusively, the Winter Olympics on Feb 3 from China. A lot of frustration right now with the Washington football team, down by 21, trying to stay alive in the chase. During commercial break, a look at what happened on that Washington bench with Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne, two defensive linemen, college teammates as well. Whoa. Well, Allen in particular was very vocal about their performance last week when they were really shredded by that Philadelphia ground game. So that's what happens when you're on the way to a possible third straight loss. Got to try to calm him down. Teammates stepping in. Ball from the 25 now. Heineke under pressure once again, and this time it's Micah Parsons. Sooner or later, you knew you'd see number 11. He's been relatively quiet tonight. Now he gets noisy. What a year for that guy. Number 1 pick, 12th overall in the draft.
New York Giants fans are going to remember Eric Flowers, who is right here, and clearly they're going to try and isolate him and get Parsons on him, and that is going to be a mismatch of mismatches. So a lot of times it is not where they put people, it's who they want to attack, and in that moment it was Eric Flowers.
They had a flag here, got a free play. DeAndre Carter out to the 30-yard line. Osia Digozua is the culprit this time. The rookie out of UCLA, picked in the 3rd round. Bill Vinovich.
Offside. Defense number 97. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
And this is a big story for Washington. You do not want to see that, especially amongst guys that are going to be in the same exact room. And I've seen a lot of things on the sideline, and I have no idea what was said, but I have never seen a teammate like that, you know, with Jonathan Allen taking a swing. And Deron Payne, don't know what he said, don't know what Jonathan Allen said, but that escalated way too much.
And they've known each other well for a while. They were both number 1 picks in back-to-back years out of Alabama. 2nd down and 10. And big hole here for Gibson. Bad toe and all. He gets out to the 40-yard line. 1st down.
Well, they had some effectiveness with DeAndre Carter going across on that jet sweep, and this is now just basically the counter back off of it. So you get a reaction because of the success of that play, and you come back the other way. But Washington understood going into this game, if they didn't run the ball well, they were going to have real problems with the pass rush, and so far we're seeing exactly that.
Yeah, Ron Rivera saying last night, that is the key. That is the key. Being able to run it. And Gibson runs it here for a gain of 4 before he gets bumped out of bounds by Kelvin Joseph.
Now, one of the real keys, though, and there's Payne over there, and rightly, he is red hot. Give him a little credit for not having that thing turn into something ridiculous on the sideline. Roy was ridiculous on the sideline. But that's embarrassing for a football team. That's embarrassing for an organization to have something like that happen on your own bench.
Jared Patterson now comes into the game. Scat back, the 5'9" rookie out of Buffalo to spell Gibson. 2nd and 6. Fake to him. Look out from behind. Down he goes. This time J-Ron Curse comes in. The back. Patterson tried to block him. Could only get a snippet. And he's able to chase him down. 3rd and 7.
I tell you, it is just amazing. Watch him run by the quarterback, get blocked, but just keep hustling. And that's what you see out of this Dallas defense. Time after time after time. They don't make the play initially, but they never stop. And one of the reasons they never stop is they're so deep on this defense. They substitute so freely up front, they stay fresh throughout the game. And this is a problem 3rd and long now.
Pressure on more than half the dropbacks. Look out, here they come. They throw and it's caught, but the defense is equal to the task to stop Jonathan Williams shy of the 1st down.
And 2 of the back-to-back plays here. That time we saw Basham come up and was rushing, maybe even a little bit of a spy situation for him, but he never stopped. He's right there, and he's just going to fly to the football and make the play short of the 1st down. So those fresh players on that defensive line that are only playing 35 or 40 snaps a game now, they can hustle like that.
Lamb is back. Tressway's 2nd punt of the night. His first was 50 yards. Lamb, he's going to let it go, and it skids into the end zone for the touchback. 6.5 to go in the half. 28-7 Cowboys.
Excuse me, is that a plug-in
This
car?
Santa Fe has a plug in it. How does that work exactly, you wonder?
Is that a voiceover?
Well, it works just like a Santa Fe, except it has both electric and gas. Sometimes you don't need the gas at all.
So how's the power?
Oh, yeah. Plenty of power, especially off the line.
Are you done?
Yep, uh-huh.
Great.
Well, no. One more thing.
Okay.
Evolve your journey in the first ever Santa Fe plug-in hybrid EV.
You want fries with that?
Introducing Wendy's new hot and crispy fries. Preferred almost 2-to-1 over McDonald's. Try them today, only at Wendy's.
The Google Pixel 6. For all the Bucks fans, Suns fans, Serbian fans who became Nuggets fans, Heat fans who want to get rid of photobomb fans. There you go.
Magic.
Die-hard fans.
Bing bong.
Bandwagon fans. Woj Bomb fans. Oh, baby. Top Shot fans. All the Nothing fans. Whoa. Laker fans.
Does it have to be for Laker fans?
Duh.
What are you doing?
Taking a photo.
Are you taking a photo of us?
Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Tap, tap for that once-in-a-lifetime shot. All NBA defense. Fans who just came for the style. Get bouncy. And fans seeing it up close for the first time. There are so many ways to love the NBA. And the Pixel 6 is built for all of them. Filet.
What says love better than something you can chew on? Use your MasterCard to make secure purchases from anywhere, so your gift will end up in the right hands or mouth, because being there for each other is priceless.
American Auto is a hilarious comedy.
Because anything I do at this damn company, they appreciate it. You get used to it.
Critics rave it could be the next The Office or Superstore.
Hey, it's an office, not a motel.
American Auto, January 4th on NBC, and watch 2 episodes now.
2 inside guys, Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne. You saw what happened on the sideline. 2 teammates from Alabama. Things calm for the moment, but you have something like that, and you know the next day it gets played on every highlight show.
Well, of course it does,
Yeah.
and it's going to be the conversation, and it's going to be all the stuff. Does the head coach have control? You know, it's go right down the list. We've heard the shows a million times.
2 million from the 20-yard line. Prescott off the fake, throws, caught out in the flat here. Tony Pollard flagged down for the moment, a gain of 9.
There's no foul for an ineligible receiver. Number 66 has reported as eligible.
All right, that was Connor McGovern. Let's go to Michelle.
Well, you talked about Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen having their days back at Alabama. I can't tell you what started that fight, but I can tell you there was a reference to their long history between them. It seemed like Deron Payne was extremely angry at Allen. Sam Mills, the defensive line coach, had to kind of calm both of them down. Now they're out there trying to play together, guys.
Yeah, the 2 inside guys. You've got McGovern right now, the fullback again here on short yardage. And picking up the first down at the 32 is Pollard. So it's about 5 minutes after that initial altercation, and there was again on the sideline. Again, you know, it was Allen in particular who was very vocal, demonstrative about that performance last week in Philadelphia when they were run over. About 230 some odd yards on the ground for the Eagles. 5 days later, here they are again, in jeopardy of losing a 3rd straight game. They still would be mathematically alive even if they lose, but the chances would be infinitesimal. Prescott, good ball handling, caught in Washington territory. C.D. Lamb at the 43-yard line, and Prescott has already thrown for over 200 yards. That's 215 tonight on a gain of 25 here.
He's on a Joe Burrow type pace here tonight, and he has just been on the money. This is what we got used to seeing at the beginning of the season, these perfect throws. Again, that back foot coming up and not flipping up the way that it did when he got his weight way forward.
That hit by Jonathan Allen as he released. This time another dart over the middle. That's Dalton Schultz at the 25-yard line. And that is Jeremy Reeves. A little slow in getting up and signals he wants to come over to the bench.
A lot of missing pieces on this Washington defense, and you start off with Chase Young and William Jackson, one of their best cornerbacks. Jamin Davis, their first overall pick. John Bostic, Cole Holcomb, their first two starting middle linebackers all out. Daniel Wise. It's a long list.
And Landon Collins, after last week, he went on IR. Big hole through the middle, exploited here to the 17-yard line. Steele helping to lead the way for Pollard. 2nd and 1.
You know what, Al? This is exactly what we've sort of been waiting for, right, out of Kellen Moore's bunch. You know it's there. We saw it early in the season. They were averaging 34 points a game, and lately it's been more like 24 points.
2nd and 1. That is caught. Setting up a first down and goal. Michael Gallup makes the grab. And Dak's spreading it around. He's hit 7 different receivers tonight, and he's 20 out of 21.
Yeah, Michael Gallup, a guy who traditionally is the deep threat on this team, so when he does the inside break, it can be tough. Kendall Fuller coming off the COVID list last week. But for me, the story of tonight is the return of Dak Prescott. He has just been perfect.
It's James Smith-Williams, the defensive end, who needs the timeout here before a first down and goal. Cowboys have already rung up 308 yards, and we're back in 30 seconds after this from AWS.
We'll see clear skies, but our AWS football forecast says
It'll be raining touchdowns.
One stat that with extra cheese.
Feel the stat that, be the stat that.
Stat that, stat that.
Stat that.
Two weeks ago in D.C., the Cowboys got into the red zone. They were 1 for 6 getting into the end zone. Zerline had to settle for 4 field goals. Tonight, completely different story. 3 for 3. And Prescott only 1 incomplete pass in the first half. To the end zone on a fade, and Gallup can't haul it in. Darrell Roberts with the coverage on the play. It'll be 2nd down and goal.
Yeah, William Jackson out of the game. We told you that. Darrell Roberts, the guy who's getting the opportunity. He played all 71 snaps last week in that game, but you knew eventually they would come back that way. So many times Gallup makes these plays. He is the deep threat, playing that receiver position.
2nd and goal. Pollard. And he's fighting. And this, of course, is the new thing now in the NFL. All of the offensive linemen get in there and try to push him into the end zone. 3rd and goal.
All right, so you go. I love watching this. The double team. And then you got Zach Martin, who's in there, and he understands everybody's a little stymied. They just keep pushing the pile. And the scrum, and I think it's really good stuff. I think you could take it even further than this. I think you could take the tackles on both sides on an inside run and just intentionally wrap them back around and understand now you get a running back in there, and now you've got Smith-Williams going off to the locker room. They're about out of players in Washington.
3rd down and goal, and Prescott will take a timeout. Go bring that up at the competition committee, would you?
I love it. Not crazy about that. Al, all right, let me just say this, all right?
Say it.
You've been on a football team long enough. You have either been in one of those fights in practice or somewhere, or you've been pinned up against the wall, myself included. It's happened to me. And you say something in the heat of battle that you really don't mean, and yet because your nerves are so frayed, Their season is basically over if they don't come in here and win this game. They got embarrassed last week by the Eagles, who ran all over them. And you could just see where something was going to be said. And there you have your captain, and just was hot.
When you were playing, there were only brownies and Polaroids, though, right? I mean, now you got 18 million cameras everywhere. There is nothing that's not caught. And everybody wants to make such a big deal out of it. That, that was a pretty big deal. There's no question about that.
That was a big deal. And that was a bit of a statement, unfortunately, on the franchise. And that's the way it's going to be played.
As we say, another tumultuous season in D.C. Third down and goal now. And Prescott wide open. No problem. Terence Steele on the tackle, eligible. Dak feeding everybody tonight. 8 different receivers. Jerry Jones loving it.
And on the opposite sideline, it is a party. They are pulling out all the tricks. They're going to have some fun. They just clinched the division today, and it is on. The Dallas Cowboys have come out here tonight to say, don't take us seriously at your own risk.
Steele's first catch of his career, as Dennis Miller would say, you couldn't keep him down forever. 2.5 to go in the half. The Dallas Cowboys rolling up by 28 on Sunday Night Football.
You are my fire, the one desire. You are.
My family's been devastated by COVID-19, and we're not alone. We've all had to find new ways to keep going, and Q has made that easier. With Q, you get lab-quality COVID-19 test results in just 20 minutes. Speed and accuracy, it's not just for the NBA, it's for you too. Q Health, the official COVID-19 home test of the NBA. Go Q, go you.
Meet Stewart and Byron, owners of Small, a tiny home architecture firm. They were getting ready to travel to Portland, Maine for a pitch when their 3D printer broke. Luckily, Small is with American Express Business Platinum and has access to over $1,000 in value per year with the Business Services Suite. So they got new software and created a full augmented reality experience. Small won the pitch, and with their membership rewards points, extended their hotel stay for a few extra days. They had a whale of a time. Get the card built for business by American Express.
See you checking out the drip, yeah, I'm splashing. Candy paint, war on the classic. Rams 24, if you ask it. We'll stay down, what? Thought it was established. Hey, whoa, gotta go. Pushing the gas down with my big toe. Hey, I'm like, whoa, gotta go now. Clear the way out here looking like a snowplow. Looking for that butter, already got the French toast. Hey, room service.
Go to NFLshop.com for a special offer.
The black man has been seen as many things.
Oh, damn. Y'all about to get nasty.
But we laugh, we cry, and we love.
What the hell?
Grand Crew, January 4th on NBC, and watch 2 episodes now.
If this were a fight, it would be a TKO right now. Dak Prescott, fabulous night, 245. He's all the way back after people were wondering. You know, it's funny. Every time a quarterback has a little bit of a slump, shall we say, talking about Mahomes earlier in the season, Brady 1 week last week, whatever it is.
But it was some of the big mistakes that almost let games get away in the fourth quarter that were so atypical of the kind of play we get from Dak Prescott. And when you start running the ball like they're doing, then everything works. You know, now tackles are scoring touchdowns.
You know, the last time a Cowboy lineman scored a touchdown would be 1968. Rayfield Wright caught a touchdown pass from Don Meredith. Rayfield Wright in the Hall of Fame. Went in a few years back.
Did you see Zeke there? He goes, "Oh, you want the ball?" And he like pulled it back from, "This not the ball."
No chance.
What do you think? You bounced it in the stands.
That's caught on the run. Gibson. Nice gain out to the 46-yard line. He goes. Devontae KZ, one of the former Falcons that came over with Dan Quinn from Atlanta, making the stop there. Gain on that play of 21.
A lot of respect for Antonio Gibson just showing up out here tonight. He knew what was on the line, which is everything. He's hurting, but playing.
And this is Gibson making the carry for a couple. To the 2-minute warning we go. 35-7, the Dallas Cowboys.
To our 300,000 employees at CVS Health, thank you for demonstrating the power of purpose. Through your work, your caring, your dedication to being wherever you're needed, becoming part of families, bringing more confidence to the comeback, and delivering the essentials to people's doors, you give over 100 million people the chance to achieve a healthier life. Thank you for bringing your heart to every moment of health.
Pizza Hut delivers. How bad do you want it? Against the Chargers in overtime, Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce wanted it so bad. He caught a pass from Patrick Mahomes, picked up a block from Byron Pringle, and sprinted to the end zone for a walk-off game-winning touchdown. If you want the hot, delicious taste of Pizza Hut delivered this bad, all you have to do is go to pizzahut.com. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Listen, I did not kill Mysterio.
Smile Direct Club. These are Smile Direct Club aligners. They can turn a smile like this into a smile like this in as little as 4 to 6 months for less than $3 a day. Choose Smile. Get started for free at SmileDirectClub.com.
I need to try it first.
For that special moment when love at first sight makes time stand still.
You're stepping on my foot and I can't move.
Oh, my bad.
Grand Crew, January 4th on NBC, and watch 2 episodes now on Peacock.
Coming up on the Toyota Halftime Maria, Tony Drew, and some great QB performances.
Huge games today from Josh Allen and Joe Burrow.
And some new weapons for Tom Brady and the Bucs.
All right, coming up at half. Back to you, Al.
All right, thank you, Maria. Look forward to halftime. Another sort of crazy day. How about the Texans? Go to Tennessee, beat them, beat the Chargers at home today, and they had a whole bunch of guys on the COVID list. What can I tell you? 2nd down and 9. From the, nobody knows. Again, nobody knows anything. You know that. Everybody knows nothing. 2nd and 9. And that pass is incomplete, intended for Cam Shims.
Yeah, we talked about some of the depth, and there's Dak. Goodness gracious, what a night he's having tonight. And you see the position that he gets in throwing the football right now. I think he's fixed a few things. He just looks much more solid over his feet. He's has the kind of accuracy we saw early in the season. It's been fun to watch.
Running back is Jonathan Williams on 3rd down and 9. Heineke deep downfield, and you're going to get a flag. No, because you got Diggs is back there. McLaurin going down. Wants to know why there's no penalty on the play, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, McLaurin got open. He definitely did. You'll see he's going to get in behind here and have a step or two on Diggs. And then the old dreaded tangled feet. I'm not even sure it was tangled feet. I think McLaurin just kind of took a bad step. Heineke says, why did he have to take a bad step on that throw?
Heineke now 5 out of 14. Trustway, fair caught at the 11-yard line by C.D. Lamb, and we'll be back in 30 seconds.
And Doug.
Superpowers from a spider bite. I could use some help showing the world how Liberty Mutual customizes their car insurance, so they only pay for what they need. Did it work? Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Spider-Man No Way Home in theaters December 17th.
Dallas has run 40 plays for 312 yards and 5 touchdowns in a most dispiriting first half for the Washington defense, as you saw Payne on the sideline. Both in name and in definition. Amari Cooper can't hold on. It's 2nd down and 10.
You know, we talked to Jonathan Allen yesterday, and we talked about his frustration last week and with what happened to him against Philadelphia. They couldn't stop the run. He said, hey, guys owned up to it. Nobody pointed the fingers. We're never where we want to be stopping the run, but they exposed us, and we needed that. But I think today, whatever happened, whatever was said, was one too many for Jonathan Allen.
And that's going to be caught along the sideline there. Amari Cooper. Big half for him with a minute and a half to go in the half. That's 72 yards on 6 grabs for Amari.
Yeah, Amari Cooper loves having us show up.
That's some big Sunday night games. Down the sideline again. Incomplete this time. Cooper can't hold it in. And it'll be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, but this throw was perfect in a very difficult spot. A little double move on the outside. You saw the pump fake from Dak Prescott, and he dropped it right in there. And I think that, unfortunately, Cooper trying to work his feet along the boundary just couldn't quite focus in on the ball enough.
Hey, run this, 5-1-1. Good.
Prescott hangs in that pocket, and that pass is broken up. Intended for Michael Gallup inside the 40-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
You know, the other part of this offense that we haven't even touched on yet is that Tyron Smith is arguably, well, he's certainly going to be a Hall of Famer. We know that. He and Zach Martin along that offensive line. And for Jack Del Rio, he's playing against future Hall of Famers, and he's missing those who might be for his squad.
Yeah, Martin and Smith both named to the Pro Bowl 7th time. They'll go as teammates. Prescott protected well. That's caught. Schultz to the 40-yard line. All the receivers having big nights. Cooper 6 catches. Lamb has 4. Schultz now has 5. And even Steele.
Well, let's go back to 2019 and take a look at Dak Prescott and what you could see. You remember all this. He wants to throw the ball with his hips, not his arms, and we've seen that. But on this throw, you're going to see him sort of staying back a little bit, right? If you play golf any at all, you understand the difference. And once he starts getting that body forward, but balanced and not too far forward, so that back leg has to kick up like he's finishing a pitch from the mound, the accuracy gets very precise, and that's really what Dak Prescott was coming out of college, that if he had an open receiver, and we analyze all those throws, that he was going to hit it. And that was the distinguishing feature that he had, and that particular shot showed it pretty well.
And this time he's under pressure, but still gets it away and throws it into the Washington bench with 51 seconds.
This was some feat of strength right here on the part of Dak to be able to get away from Ioannidis and just get that ball out. A lot of times they'll blow the whistle right there just to protect the quarterback. Did not in that situation.
So 2nd and 10. The Washington team will meet Philadelphia in D.C. next week, and then at the Giants to wrap it up. Meanwhile, Arizona comes here, big game against Dallas for the Cardinals, who've dropped 3 straight as Malik Turner gets into the action. That's his first catch. Prescott's hit 9 different receivers tonight. To the outside he goes. Schultz again, close to a first down. We go to Michelle.
Well, James Smith-Williams, the defensive end who went into the locker room for a bit, Al, we were told he was questionable with asthma. Now, he was listed on the injury report with an illness this week, limited in practice. He has come back out. You can see there he's got his helmet. Questionable is the official thing, and they've said asthma. He came off the COVID list on December 18th after 8 days on it, so we don't know if this has to do with that.
I mean, Michelle, everybody's either on the COVID list or IR, or as Prescott goes deep downfield again, and that's almost picked inside the 5 with Bobby McCain. Had a couple of interceptions this year, first 6 years with Miami. 3rd down and 2.
Take one more look at this throwing motion here to see what he does. Of course, he's going to put a little arc on this ball and stayed back just to get it up and over the top. Obviously a throw he shouldn't have made. Sometimes, and we've seen it with other quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes earlier this year, they get on a hot streak and they think they can do anything. That throw was not the right decision.
3rd and 2. Here he goes again, going to the end zone, and that is incomplete. And the crowd wants a flag but won't get it. Wilson is covered by Danny Johnson. 4th down.
I think the crowd should be very satisfied that it was an offensive pass interference. Terry, right? Nod your head.
Yep.
Right, Chris.
Thank you. That's all I needed.
There you go. Call is confirmed. So 4th down. They're going for it. Keep the offense out there, going for the kill shot here. With a 28-point lead, 4th down. Prescott fires, caught, and Schultz takes a pop at the 26-yard line, and down he goes, and a flag comes in, 2 flags in fact, for that hit. Bobby McCain laying out Dalton Schultz.
Does it get up to the head and neck area?
Yep.
It certainly does. Not even close. And you'll see McCain catch the flag as it's thrown in there. The frustration everywhere with this Washington football team.
Defense number 20. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Yep.
The bigger story, though, is the player himself.
Yeah, so Schultz makes his 7th catch. Guys are coming over. And fortunately, he gets up and trots off. Had a great year. Looked like Blake Jarwin would be the guy, but they hope to have him back hopefully for the playoffs. He's getting close. Meanwhile, Schultz has done a yeoman work as the #1 tight end. 10 seconds to go in the half.
The sort of thing we haven't talked enough about is the fact that these guys are making really hard catches tonight and taking really big hits. And as a quarterback, you start to trust them with everything. Now, you don't want to put them into that kind of a situation, but that was a foul.
So Elliott's in the backfield. You got 3 receivers set to the left, including Sean McKeon, who comes in to replace Schultz. Looking that way is Prescott, throwing that way, and that's going to be caught for the touchdown by Amari Cooper. Talked about it earlier. Cooper complaining about, man, he said they got to use me more, especially in the red zone. 7 catches, 84 yards, and a touchdown.
It's a great route concept. They're going to send somebody to the back of the end zone and then somebody to the front pylon of the end zone, and really nothing that Kendall Fuller could do. You could see him take that little misstep backwards because you have to cover 2. And for Cooper, he's had some frustration that he's expressed about not getting the ball enough in red zone. I'm sure that'll make him happy.
Extra point is good. Tell you what, at a point like this, you start looking at the record book. We talked about Everson Walls having his matched, and 42 points equals the most ever in the first half by the Cowboys ever. They did it against Philadelphia back in 1969.
And this is Dak Prescott from whatever era that you want to name as the best era of his life, because he has been just so good tonight.
12 plays, all passes. Drive started back at the 11-yard line. So Prescott tonight, 27 of 35.
I mean, there really has not been many questions about this defense, especially since the return of DeMarcus Lawrence, right? That we have seen dominance on the defensive side of the ball. And if you I just kept saying, I don't know who else did, but I just kept saying, man, if they get anywhere close to where they were offensively at the beginning of the season, does all of a sudden you start thinking about the possibility of Mike McCarthy, maybe a matchup going back to Green Bay for, here we go. We get all the matchup possibilities going here. But I think Mike knows exactly what he's sitting on right now, and maybe had a little something to do, who knows, but Tyron Smith sitting out and wanting to get him exactly right before they started the game.
Well, the year's been a dichotomy for Dallas. Offense for the first half of the season, defense in the last several weeks. Prescott looking fabulous tonight. 9 different receivers. And next week, Arizona comes in here. What a big game that is for the Cardinals, who were 10-2 and are now 10-5. And then Dallas finishes up at Philadelphia. So how important is the 1 seed? You're the only team that gets a bye. Remember, 7 teams in the playoffs beginning last year. Everybody else plays. But the Cowboys, if they wind up as the 2 seed, and they are the 2 as of the moment, will at least get a wild card game at home.
And you get the least of the competition in that first round.
Coming up next at halftime, Maria, Tony, and Drew to tell you what's on tap. Go, gang.
All right, thanks, Al. Well, Dak's already passed 4 touchdown passes, and it's halftime. That's the most he's had since coming back from the calf injury.
Dak Prescott and this passing offense are on fire right now. They can't be stopped.
And the defense playing with great confidence, setting them up with field position.
All right, everything seems to be working for Dallas. Everything also seems to be working for Jalen Hurts and the Eagles right now. You saw one in Dallas, but there was another big man touchdown in the NFC East today. Up next, we'll show you Philly's win over the Giants and what it means for their playoff path.
Want to stay up to date? Hey Siri, show me football standings.
Do you remember where we were 5 years ago? Look at us now.
We thought our daughter was a child, but she's out here playing the game of life. What a thing, being a parent.
What a thing being a kid.
This Is Us, the final chapter, January 4th on NBC.
We're throwing an epic New Year's Eve party on NBC5.
And we heard these 2 were free.
It sounds like this is the place to be on New Year's Eve.
That's right. It's a very Chicago New Year on NBC5.
With FanDuel Fantasy, you can make your dream team a reality again and again. Make your pulse go up and down and up again when your team rises in the ranks with every play all day long. And if you get your lineup just right, you can make big season-long wins without the season-long waits. Make every small moment add up to one big moment with FanDuel Fantasy. New customers play free all season long. No deposit required. FanDuel, make every moment more.
You know what I'm gonna miss most about space?
What's that?
how easy it is to keep up my saving habit. There's nothing to buy up here.
We're making it easier to save on Earth, too. When you open a savings builder account at BMO Harris, you can get a cash reward for every month you save.
Anything to help launch my savings?
Sure. When you open a checking account, we'll give you $200 to kickstart your savings progress.
$200 and a monthly savings reward.
It's a way to save that won't weigh you down. It's a little space humor.
When a bank helps you make real financial progress, that's the BMO effect.
Come check it out.
It may not be music to your ears, but as long as it's music to theirs, bring the volume back to the venue with exclusive ticket access to unmissable events. One of the many reasons you're with Amex Platinum.
So I'm going too, right?
Happy holidays from all of us here at NBC5.
Welcome to the Toyota Halftime. Let's go places.
It's been a big day for big men. Check out offensive lineman Terence Steele getting the TD as Dallas rolls on Washington up 42-7 at the half. Impressive. Everyone's getting involved in the offense for the Cowboys. Welcome back inside the studio. Maria Taylor alongside Tony Dungy and Drew Brees, and we want to get you caught up with all of the highlights from this week. And we start in the AFC. Coach, it was the Chargers battling Houston. The Chargers needed a win, but it was the Texans who had other plans.
Bad day for the Chargers. Justin Herbert, a few ill-advised throws, and the Chargers defense could not stop the run.
Now the Chargers are on the outside looking into the playoffs, and next week it's Denver in LA. We'll see what happens with the Chargers. And Drew, Mahomes, the Chiefs just rolling today without Travis Kelce.
Yeah, no Travis Kelce, no problem. Guys like Hardman, Pringle, everybody's stepping up.
Over 375 yards of total offense for the Chiefs, and still the #1 seed in the AFC. Baltimore Ravens, another loss. Cincinnati, a lot of big plays.
Speak of no problem, just wide open receivers all day. Joe Burrow was hot, over 500 yards passing.
Yeah, the fourth most in a game in NFL history for big play Burrow. A huge win for the Bengals. Buffalo, New England Bills come out on top.
Yeah, Josh Allen was rolling today, leading rusher for his team once again, and making big plays in the passing game. He was a one-man show today.
Okay, so Buffalo retakes the lead in the AFC East, but check it out. 7 teams are separated by just 1 game for the 7th seed. So the last 2 weeks of the season are going to be great. All right, let's take a look at the NFC. Tampa Bay taking on Carolina. 57% of the offense is missing. No problem for Brady.
Just keep throwing to whoever's open. Here was Cameron Brate.
Meanwhile, Los Angeles Rams headed to Minnesota. Odell Beckham Jr. really getting in a groove with the Rams.
Yeah, it wasn't their sharpest game. Turned the ball over a few times, but Cooper Kupp had a big fourth quarter, and OBJ just continues to build chemistry with Stafford.
The Eagles rolled in the second half against the Giants.
Yeah, and it was passing game today, not necessarily the running game that did it.
And they get the win 34-10. That's another big man with a touchdown. That's Lane Johnson for the TD. So that's the best of Week 16. Now we find out what that means for our playoff picture. Steve Kornacki is here.
Yeah, Maria, well, that Eagle win, that Viking loss, you can see it. The Eagles now moving into the top 7 in the 7 spot right now in the NFC, and that really is the drama when it comes to the playoffs in the NFC side. These top 5 teams all have clinched playoff berths, so the question is those final 2 wild card spots. And remember, New Orleans, they play Miami tomorrow. If New Orleans can win that game, they'd get to 8-7. We'd have 3 8-7 teams. The New Orleans probability would jump to 60%. The probability for the Niners and the Eagles would take a little bit of a hit as well. We'd have 3 teams tied going for the final 2 spots. Now, you could play it out a number of ways, and there are tiebreaker scenarios that would favor the Niners, but there's one I'd flag that would not. If all 3 of these teams, the Saints, the Eagles, and the Niners, win out and finish 10-7, 3-way tie at 10-7, the Eagles would be in, the Saints would be in, and in that scenario, the Niners would get the short end of the stick and would not be in. So that's a high probability for them, but there are some dangerous scenarios for the Niners right now.
All right, appreciate it, Steve. Well, you heard him, Coach. If the Eagles win out, they make it into the playoffs, and you like the way they've been playing lately.
I really do. I love what they're doing. They know who they are. Jalen Hurts is our quarterback. We're going to be a running football team and include running Hurts. So you have to bring that safety up to stop that run. Now we've got some young receivers who can make plays against one-on-one coverage, and they're playing good football.
Yeah, the team that I'm really concerned about in the NFC is the Arizona Cardinals. You know, just a few short weeks ago, they were the #1 seed. They were the team that couldn't be stopped. And then you go back to 2 weeks ago, they have an embarrassing loss at the Lions. They lose yesterday to the Colts. They haven't been playing well at home. We don't know what's wrong with the offense. It's a lack of execution. It's turning the ball over. So they're a team that it's going to be tough here down the stretch. And do they fall in their seeding? But bottom line is they're probably going to have to go on the road and be playing well, which they're not doing right now.
Yeah, no. And they've got Dallas next week.
Yeah.
Right.
They've clinched their first playoff berth since 2015, but there's still some issues to work out. Now, second half is still to come, but first, Toyota reminds you to let your style shine through in a sleek Toyota car.
From her friends, Jess, they wanted to say good luck on the interview.
Hey, you got this, Jess. I'm free to be the greatest I'm alive. I'm free to be the greatest here tonight. The greatest.
Confidence looks great on you. Toyota, let's go places.
So let it snow. Oh, say you won't go, 'cause I'm so happy to spend this time with you.
The road to the Winter Olympics is in full swing with the games now less than 6 weeks away. And Tuesday in France, 3-time Olympic medalist Michaela Schifrin, one of the greatest skiers the world has ever seen, won the giant slalom at the World Cup event. Schifrin has said she wants to compete in every event in Beijing, where the Winter Olympics begin on February 3rd on NBC and Peacock. All right, the Dallas Cowboys are rolling.
Whoa.
Yeah.
The big fella.
Think about big men scoring.
Big day for the big guys. Second half is next.
This has been the Toyota Halftime. Let's go places.
Surprise!
It's a new Buick.
Got me a new Buick?
Oh.
And there are more gifts inside.
You got me the head-up display.
Heated steering wheel. It's a massaging seat.
Okay, what next?
Alexa, turn on holiday lights.
This year, give the gift of technology in every Buick SUV. Pay no interest for 72 months, plus current eligible Buick owners get $500 purchase allowance on Buick SUV models.
I didn't have to shout out for help.
Because you didn't have another DVT. Not today.
One blood clot puts you at risk of having another. So we chose Xarelto to help keep you protected.
Xarelto is proven to treat and reduce the risk of DVT or PE blood clots from happening again. Almost 98% of people did not have another DVT or PE. Don't stop taking Xarelto without talking to your doctor, as this may increase risk of blood clots. While taking, a spinal injection increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis. You may bruise more easily or take longer to stop bleeding. Xarelto can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. It may increase your bleeding risk if you take certain medicines. Get help right away for unexpected bleeding or unusual bruising. Don't take Xarelto if you have an artificial heart valve or abnormal bleeding. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures and any kidney or liver problems. Help protect yourself from another DVT or PE. Ask your doctor about Xarelto. To learn more about cost, visit Xarelto.com or call 1-888-XARELTO.
From our family to yours.
Here's to a safe and healthy holiday.
That's the game plan. Stick to it.
This broadcast is copyrighted by NFL Productions for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of NFL Productions is prohibited.
Week 16 concludes with Monday Night Football, starting at 8:15 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Stream games on mobile with the Yahoo Sports and NFL